It's another one in our series of 5 songs to start with. Today, if you have wanted to look into Guns N' Roses but never got around to it, I'm going to share 5 songs to start with Guns N' Roses coming right up. Hey, it's Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast and here on YouTube. And Guns N' Roses is a band that I go way back with, and I've watched them through their entire career, whether or not they've gone through huge expansions of not putting albums out or the periods where they were super active all at once. So I know quite a bit about all the different eras of gn'r and the different types of material. So instead of doing hidden gems this time around, for this particular one, I'm going to share 5 songs that I think that if you haven't really listened to much Guns N' Roses, these are kind of your starter kit, like the 5 songs I would start you off with to see if you're going to end up loving gn'r or not. The first one for me is going to seem pretty basic, but to me it's everything Guns N' Roses does, really, overall in one song. Plus, it's the song I heard first from them, and that's the first track on their debut album, Appetite for Destruction, Welcome to the Jungle. Again, I realize that's a really obvious choice, but I think for anybody coming to Guns N' Roses, you really get a lot of what they do well right in that one song. It's the very first track on their very first album. It lets you know what the rest of Appetite for Destruction is going to sound like by and large. And if you're watching this video and you're Guns N' Roses adjacent, this is probably the one on the list that you for sure have heard. But it's still a great song to kick off going down the path of gn'r with. Second on my list is a song that also appears on their debut album, but there's a version of the song that's quite a bit better, in my opinion, on the EP that followed up their debut album. The EP was gn'r Lies, and the song in question is You're Crazy, which there's a very fast version of on their debut record, Appetite for Destruction. But the version that's on gn'r Lies is not only acoustic, but it's about half the speed of the original, plus Axl uses his much lower register for like 90% of the vocals, and some really good acoustic guitar work from Slash. So to me, like I said, Jungle shows a lot of what gn'r does. You're Crazy, specifically from gn'r Lies, shows a lot more of what gn'r would be capable of. So that's 2 that I think would be really good places to start with gn'r. The next one comes off the first of 2 full-length records that followed up gn'r Lies, that being Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And from Use Your Illusion 1, the song I would recommend next that you check out is Dead Horse. And the reason why is it's almost a combo of the first 2 songs on the list. It starts out acoustic with Axl using his lower register, but then it really kicks into, first of all, Axl using the higher voice and a much more rockin', bluesier song, closer to Welcome to the Jungle than really anything else that's on Use Your Illusion 1. I've got 2 more on my list that I want to share. This next one is one for all the people who say that they don't like the Chinese Democracy era of Guns N' Roses, but probably haven't actually listened to the Chinese Democracy era of Guns N' Roses. I would tell you to check out the song Better from the album Chinese Democracy, because it is probably, of everything on the album, it's probably the one that's most similar to the older style with the previous lineups of Guns N' Roses. But in my opinion, I don't care if you take the lineups out of it or how long the album take to make. If you just go and put on the song Better, it's a fantastic Guns N' Roses hard rockin' song all the way across the board. Some of the best vocals Axl's ever laid down, and lyrically content as well. So the last one that's on my list is a big one, a very, very long song, but to me, it shows everything that Guns N' Roses is capable of. So like I said about Welcome to the Jungle or You're Crazy or Dead Horse, these are songs that are in essence basic rock songs, whereas the number 1 on my list comes from Use Your Illusion 2, and that's the song Estranged. Now, if you've ever heard November Rain, then you kind of have an idea for where Estranged is going. But I would argue that Estranged takes a lot more. It's more of an aggressive way to move away from what gnr was known for. So that would be a song I would tell you for sure to check out, because I think if all you may have ever heard is Welcome to the Jungle or Paradise City or maybe even Sweet Child of Mine, you will be shocked at what happens in a big, huge, grand piece like Estranged. So that's 5 that I would say you should start with Guns N' Roses. If you're a longtime gnr fan, let me know what your 5 are in the comments that you would tell people to listen to first. If you're not at all a gnr fan, check out some of these tracks. If you've heard Jungle, check out the other ones that I mentioned. But either way, make sure to leave a comment and let us know what you think of some of the gnr tracks I picked out. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.